Welcome back, folks, to Tales of Equestria, the Broken and Bleeding Heart, episode 24. We are officially a TV series. 24.
Indeed.
Yeah. Can anybody... I'm your host and DM, Lord Lucan, of course. Can anybody tell me what happened last time?
Oh boy, where do we begin? We had to deal with Cruelty's minions that was attacking. Her name is blanking on me right now. What was her name? The ghost Amore? Huh?
Princess Amore.
Thank you, Princess Amore. Thank you. We teleported and to find the Princess Amore's lair being attacked by Cruelty's minions, while we're trying to return the crystal heart back to the dragon. And we had a little bit of a tussle with the leader, I believe a corrupt or at least a dark version of a unicorn, keep trying to steal that crystal heart, but every time we kept getting it back. It was literally a back and forth. So we finally put that crystal heart back into the dragon, and the tide has turned. We won.
So we hope.
With the only casualty being one dog from Luminescence.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that anybody would like to add?
Thus we stand before the newly revived Draco Lich with the crystal heart back in its chest cavity, and Princess Amore. She still has her love for the dragon he once was, and hopefully still is, in the heart.
Yep, because if we did all this while the dragon turns out to be evil, all I can say is, well, fuck.
You gotta try stuff.
Before you stands the immense and powerful Draco Lich. Within its currently beating heart, is the crystal heart itself, the powerful artifact. Standing next to him is the ghost, Princess Amora, the great, lots of greats of Princess Flareheart, who stands next to you. The Draco Lich sits upon the massive mound of treasures. He stares down at you and speaks. Where is it? Okay, well, that's
All right. How many friendship tokens do we get?
Oh,
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
And then somebody roll me a D. Give me a second, because Princess Flareheart is in your party. A D.
So I'll do the D8.
Yep. Plus an additional 4 tokens of friendship. The princesses have a power known as Princess that grants tokens of friendship whenever they are in your party.
Understood.
The dragon speaks. He says, "Who are you, and why has greed has it not greed? Who is it?
Cruelty.
Despair?
Thank you. Why has Cruelty's minions reappeared?"
I am Summerheart. This is... And I'm just going to let each of you introduce yourselves accordingly.
I am Blizzard Store.
That is Violet Shy.
And I am Luminescence.
And over to our right is Princess Flareheart herself.
Of the Crystal Empire and descendant of Princess Amore by your side.
The Draco Lich acknowledges each of you, and he nuzzles muzzle to muzzle with Princess Amora, the ghostly image. He says, "My love, what has become of you?" She says that she has been shattered into 1,000 pieces by the villain, Sombra. His eyes narrow at this. He's like, "Where is this villain now?"
The last we are from a later generation, but we are from a school that teaches friendship. Our professors told us of a time they encountered Sombra not once but twice, and on both occasions he was defeated by their power of friendship and harmony. We have not heard from Sombra in over 20 years.
I know nothing of this Sombra.
He was the one that shattered Princess Amour's into, well...
And he also was the one, as far as we were taught, had hidden the crystal heart from his own empire of enslaved ponies 1,000 years ago, until he was defeated the first time by the royal sisters Celestia and Luna, who have since retired.
Is that something you should say?
Blizzard is going to look at the Summerheart to say, let's not mention the sister because they are the ones that took his heart to begin with.
So, is that something that you wish to say? Show the players.
Oh, this is going to hurt.
Yeah. Maybe for
Might want to reread the history on the crystal heart.
Believe me, I fully remember.
Okay, all right. Just so is that what you're saying?
I will pause for a moment, but at the same time, I don't like withholding. It's not the truth, but simply the facts in what we believed.
Roll me a charm.
It is not done to cause offense. It is simply being honest, even if that is not exactly my particular element.
Well, yes, but there are also cases where full honesty or even excessive honesty can be very harmful to your goals and even to the good of the individual you're speaking to. Getting ourselves killed by being honest is not going to achieve anything.
Well, then I will refrain from that.
Oh, you got a critical.
Yeah, go ahead and upgrade.
Yeah.
Would you like to keep that 8?
Against it's 14, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
All right. Well, there's no way I can beat it even on the 10, so I will have to spend tokens. It's against a 14 on a 20. There's the odds of me surpassing that are slim. I would have to spend 3 tokens to make it an automatic success.
The temperature in the room drops at the mention of Princess Luna and Princess Celestia. You guys are currently aware that they are bitter enemies, and that his heart was stolen from her by the royal sisters. It is a noticeable temperature drop, as if you said something that was incredibly scathing, or a brief reminder of a loss and a pain, right? And within the aura of the dragon, you can sense this feeling of loss and hopelessness, right?
But to back up my words, I'm actually continuing. But that is in the past. We have all changed. We have become better and wiser ponies over the years, and we believe that it is more painful to hold on to grudges and ill memories of the past. We are ponies who seek a better, brighter future for everyone, for yourselves and others. We do not want to have bitter pasts built on mistakes, errors, however grievous they may be. That is one reason why we are here, to bring further light into this world of darkness. And we have done so by righting a past mistake, by returning your heart to you. Does that not show that we are of pure hearts ourselves, by coming to correct an error done 1,000 years ago, if not more? Does that not show that we are ponies of good heart?
He nods in reply, and he says, it was a battle that I needed to lose. He goes on to explain. He says, during my battle with the element of disharmony, of cruelty, he instilled me that I would live on further than my beloved Princess Amora. And in his words were truth. A cruel fate awaited me, that I would continue to live on without my beloved princess. And I could not withstand this. And this is when he took me over. I did battle with the royal sisters in my weakened state. Mm-hmm. And it is then that they took what was left of me, my heart, of pure love and joy, and gave it to the crystal ponies. It was my dying wish that they do so.
Well, be happy to know.
So in other words, in my mind, that sounds like a contradiction. Others claim that there was the claim that they stole the crystal heart, but now the Draco Lich is saying that he wanted them to take it. And in the grand scheme of things, it sounded like he asked them to do it to protect his crystal heart, until perhaps such a time as this could come.
Cruelty corrupted me, and the only thing that was left and pure was my heart, which I gave to the beloved Princess Amora.
Okay, so to Amora, yeah. He gave to Amora.
Great-great-great-grandma. Yeah. So, to be clear, the element of cruelty had corrupted him. So much so that the only thing left of him that was good was his heart. And his love for Princess Amora. He did battle with the sisters, right?
In that evil, corrupted state.
In the evil, corrupted state. Yet his heart was still pure.
Right.
And they stole the only thing that was left of his purity.
Yep, and gave it to his beloved.
Okay.
Well, what reason would they have to do that in the first place? Perhaps they, in their youth and still learning in wisdom, they thought perhaps the dragon's crystal heart could serve a good purpose elsewhere. Perhaps there was no knowing if the dragon could be revived, or by leaving the heart in a place such as that other evil forces could come and take it, whatever their reasons. I do not believe it was done I do not believe that the sisters acted in malice or evil intent. Simply misguided or a sincere mistake on their part. But whatever the reasons, we have found that it is possible to reunite the heart with the dragon and thus restore him. And with Princess Amora here, that remedies a past mistake.
Blizzard Star clears his throat.
with that in mind, you will be happy to learn that the Crystal Horde is not only continuing on, but Amor's descendants is still ruling the Empire and continuing to be their protector, just as you and Amor has did long before. And honestly, I have a feeling that both her descendants will be joyed to see another one that sells the same kind of capacity that they do for the Crystal Ponies.
But as we understand, the Crystal Heart was also what was protecting the Crystal Empire from the evils that lay beyond. Without it, they have no protection from the cold winters that surround it, among other evils that might try to come and enslave the ponies who reside there. The question is, the question for a possible solution that comes to mind: can the dragon and Princess Amor in spirit, if they came to the Crystal Empire and stayed there, would that presence be enough to protect the Empire as the Crystal Heart itself alone once did?
Summer, I have a feeling that's not going to be possible.
Then what will become of the Crystal Empire without the heart?
It's not that.
Will it simply freeze over? Will it be vulnerable?
It's not that. It's what you said about Princess Amor. She's still a spirit. I have a feeling that she can't leave this dominion.
That was simply why I asked the question. Is it possible?
The dragon thinks he's like, my current goals and objectives is to restore my beloved Princess Amor. I will go forth and collect her shards and reunite her.
Well, the problem is, Drek, may I ask what was your true name before all of this?
Literally, my name's Dragon.
Oh, just Dragon? Okay.
One of the first dragons.
Okay, I thought.
So that's his name, literally.
All right.
So historically, historical context, that's his name. Throughout lore. Yep, it's just Dragon. Like his name, literally Dragon. He gave the definition of dragons.
Well, this brings to mind Dragonheart, the fact that the dragon's name was Draco, and which was simply the Latin word for dragon, but he actually was fond of it. In this case, Draco Lich, Draco. Well, what if we as ponies called him Draco? In this case, it is the old Ponish word for dragon.
Sure.
As a play on the Latin, let us call you Draco. It is the word for dragon in our old Ponish language.
I mean, he can give you a whole bunch of names that he once called himself, but it would be like a long list.
Right.
Right.
We will call him Draco to make things easy.
Sure.
Well, as I was saying, Draco, it's been over 1,000 years.
Longer.
Which, who knows will her swords aura anymore?
Do you know where they are?
Even if it takes me 100,000 years, I will find them and bring them together. I will do and stop at nothing to restore my beloved Princess Amor.
And what is to become of the ponies in the Crystal Empire? Is there nothing you can do for them?
I think this is like where Fairyheart also interjects, right? And she's like, "Grandmother, please, is there anything that you can do to convince your beloved that your descendants need to be protected as well? Without the Crystal Heart, the Crystal Empire will surely fall to the elements, if not enemies." And Princess Amor looks around and she's just quite happy to see her beloved, and she's like quickly realizes like what you're asking, right? She says,
Is there no way her spirit can be there too?
Let him finish.
What would you have me ask, my beloved? We have just reunited. What would you have me ask him? The two, like the ghost and the Draco, look stare into each other's eyes in love and endearment and in love.
I hate to bring this up, but they do have a point. They just reunited. Now we're trying to get away with that. Let them have a little moment to reconcile. Then we can get down to business.
I think like Flurry Heart gestures for you guys to like follow her further down to like speak to each other alone.
Fair enough.
Right. She gestures over to you and she says, what are we supposed to do now? The dragon now has the heart. Surely we cannot just take it from him. What do we do?
No. We have I'm glad that we have brought them together, but at what cost? I had hoped that by bringing them together, we could also bring them closer to the Crystal Empire as well. That they could come there, if not in body but in spirit, as Princess Amor there is. That their presence could be there as well.
I think it's more the matter that they don't realize what's going on. Remember, they've been in dormant for thousands of years. They have no idea what the Crystal Empire has to deal with now. They still think that the Crystal Empire is still the same as it was before they were, deceased. After they're done with the reconcile, we need to explain to them that the Crystal Empire is under threat of being, frozen because of the winter environment that was caused by the dragon's death.
Well, I've already conveyed some of that to them. The only solution I can think of for the moment is to simply persuade them to come there. It sure beats being in this dark, cold, lonely cave, for one thing.
And how are we supposed to get the spirit of Princess Amor into the Crystal Empire? Not only that, how will Cadence even react? Oh, hey, Princess Cadence, look, we found the spirit of your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother.
Guys, I think that you're losing your sight here. She glances at each of you. She says, there's a greater foe.
Right.
And without protection, that greater foe is fully capable of taking over the Crystal Empire without protection.
There's so many things going on, but how many days till we have for the Crystal Empire to fall to the winter?
Well, I believe you rolled the highest of 4 days. And you guys teleported here, so you've got about 3.5 days left. Approximate, right?
Right.
You guys haven't rested or anything like that. You've teleported. You arrived here.
The question remains, is Princess Amor confined to this dark cave in spirit, or is her spirit capable of being anywhere else in the world, if she so desires?
Roll me intelligence or a mind. Yeah, you actually would be aware of this. You know that Princess Amora, this is only a fraction of her power. So she's been shattered into 1,000 pieces, right? This is only a fraction of her. So there's a shard somewhere around here where there's Princess Amora. Now, there's other shards out there. So you know that she has been split into 1,000 pieces, and it's very likely that their spirit is bound to each of those shards. So there's little Princess Amoras all over the place, depending on where her shards are at. Does that make sense?
If we find what shard there is of her here, we could take that and the dragon back to the Crystal Empire. And that would, and at least that would count for something as opposed to nothing.
That would. But then there's the question of how are we going to break the news that cruelty is back and is about to attack the Crystal Empire?
Well, you yourself spoke of speaking the truth. Sometimes we just have to speak the facts.
And sometimes those facts you need to ease them into.
No one said the truth was easy.
Princess
Not
Fire
easy.
also reminds you, she says, don't forget that we have a powerful Draco Lich with us. And as long as we have enough time, we should be able to face cruelty with a powerful ally at our side.
Well,
It will certainly give Draco a second chance to strike back at the enemy that had corrupted him in the first place. I'm sure he would enjoy an opportunity to get another chance at fighting that enemy again, and this time not letting his body and mind be corrupted, where his heart remained pure.
You do have a point. Alright. If there's nothing else to discuss, I think we can ask them at least.
Well, Draco, as we understand, you were once corrupted by cruelty. That same enemy that corrupted your body and mind, if not your heart, which has always remained pure, that same enemy threatens the Crystal Empire as we speak. If you would come with us to the Crystal Empire, and we will also find that shard that contains the essence of Princess Amor here. We can bring you both there, and there you will also have a second chance to face cruelty again, and this time be more triumphant over him, especially since you will have Princess Amor, you will have us. You will have Flurry Heart and her mother. You will have the ponies. You will not be alone, if you were alone that first time.
He shakes his head. No, he says, I was not alone. There were allies. The unicorn that stands before me, Princess Amora, was there. There was a spider and a yak. He looks at your weapons. He says, you hold some of the weapons that the yak once used. That icy sword.
Wait. Summer, I think he's talking about your crystal rose.
No, the icy sword.
Oh, the icy sword. Hey, icy sword. I thought, okay. My bad. When you said the yaks, I remember the magical crystal heart.
What I wear is more of a defensive, a protection, not a weapon. But love works its own magic. But that sword, and we never had and I will attempt to do a mind check on it to determine more properties about it, especially now that Draco has mentioned it.
Sure, go ahead.
And I will spend just one token to attempt a reroll.
Okay. Okay, there we go. It's better. Give me a second here. Now tell me how you learned this knowledge.
Well, since the dragon mentioned the sword, I take a few moments to study it over and recall basically what Draco had just mentioned about it, plus our friends from Yakistan, as well as any other possible studying during my time at the School of Friendship on magical items, whether they were weapons, protective items, and so forth. Now that you mention that, I do recall what our friends from Equestria and what our studies at the School of Friendship, it all makes sense now, to that degree.
He warns you, he says, if you are going to go and face cruelty. The only thing that I was able to do was beat his physical form. I was not able to harm him.
We have heard of other ponies who battled other elements of disharmony. They understood that the elements of disharmony themselves cannot be destroyed unto themselves. Simply ways to destroy the body, the physical forms they use, and then use means to seal them away back into the existence they once came, where they are no longer able to influence us so strongly.
This will, Blizzard Woman will look at this and just say, but what about Greed? My brother destroyed Greed along with his friends.
Yep. His body was destroyed, but not his essence. That was simply locked away, sealed. The way how some evil monsters are simply confined to Tartarus. They are not destroyed. They are simply prevented from causing havoc upon Equestria. We as ponies are not killers. We can destroy bodies, but we do not annihilate that being unto itself.
To destroy them would be to destroy yourselves.
And to and throw off the scales of balance.
Well, the balance was already destroyed when Greed murdered the element of generosity.
And that is exactly what the elements of disharmony want to do. They want to tip the scales forever in their favor.
To disharmony.
We as followers of harmony are to regain that balance. And some of those ponies had succeeded in doing that with Greed by sealing it away after destroying its body. We will do the same thing with cruelty, one way or another.
And how will you do this, little ponies?
As I remember, those ponies had battled Greed physically, but once Greed was physically weakened to a point, they used some magical item to seal away what was left of Greed's essence and intangibility in something. And that was where they were able to triumph over Greed and its influence over Equestria at the time.
Princess Flareheart approaches you and she says, well, technically, if you go to his plane of existence, you should be able to defeat him there.
We will need something to contain cruelty once it is...
Only there was a way to get into the element of cruelty's home plane. If only there was a way.
If only.
If only.
Well, let's think about that for a second, shall we? What have we got here that can help us achieve that?
I sense a great loss in you, Changeling. Why are you so sad?
Well, I was not able to achieve quite the outcome that I was hoping for with everybody involved. And, it hasn't been easy trying to go through all of these different things and trying to survive in the wastelands out here and freezing half to death. I mean, it's not...
Preston's a great loss within you.
Yes, I understand that. I'm trying to determine precisely which loss among the many you were referring to.
Luminescence recalls a barking in the back of his mind.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Well, this is what happens when you spend 3/4 of the game leaving the creature at home.
Oh, yeah, that thing. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah. Half the game, it's not been around, but yeah, okay.
So, so you're referring perhaps to the dog, to lovely puppy that was consumed here during this battle.
Before you stands a mighty Draco Lich. Nothing but skin and bone. What's left? In the back of your mind, something pricks of magical means of coming back.
Interesting. I'll have to think about this then for a second. What possible ways could one bring back a lost dog?
The Draco Lich looks at you and says, "Is that something that you would wish for? An undead companion? A ghost or a skeleton, perhaps?"
That would depend on many things. How much of the original is left? What would it be required to sustain such a life? And would the dog be happy with such an existence? I do not have answers to these questions.
Well, I place a kind hoof on Luminescence. I can understand your concern in that matter. It brings to mind my friend Ruby. She lingered as a spirit for all those years, but I was able to understand now why she did it, because she wanted to help others. She still felt she needed some ponies to help. She certainly helped me, and I am actually happy now that she is finally able to go. She's finally able to rest and go on to another place. Whether your canine friend feels the same.
Unfortunately, there's no easy way to ask that I know of. How would such a thing even be achieved? I don't know how Ruby was reanimated exactly.
Well, she never exactly was reanimated. Her spirit simply lingered on after her death, because she felt she had a reason to stay in Equestria. There were still some ponies she needed to help. And once she realized her task was done, she was finally free to be at rest.
Right.
One thing about our dog friend, he certainly went down fighting. He was no coward.
Very loyal to the end.
So Luminescence, roll me a mind. You see if you have any history of bringing critters back from the dead. If you have any knowledge of that.
Let's see here. Probably not.
Yeah, this is kind of mind-boggling to you. Like, bro, I've seen like undead ghosts and shadow creatures and like elements of harmony and elements of disharmony. It's like this is all too much for you. So yeah, it kind of just eludes you, right? This is kind of like some dark magic stuff, dude. What's going on here?
Yeah. I don't know. It definitely, seem, as was mentioned, at least that ghosts and creatures beyond the grave exist, but how they got there, what they're doing there, or why, or any details are really completely beyond
Yep.
any experience.
So you're not totally against it. If you had rolled a 4 or below, you would have been like totally anti against this, right? Your knowledge of undead is like evil and stuff like that. But before you stands like an example of like true love and like existence of purity of greater causes, such as Princess Amora's shattering. And then the Draco Lich's love for Princess Amora being pure, even though he was corrupted by cruelty. So you're kind of, this is kind of weird, right? So I don't know. How does Luminescence react to this? So,
well, as with many things, with a sense of curiosity, like, what is this? How does it work? What would it, would it be feasible? What would it cost? And like some of the questions that we were asking earlier, is it something the dog would want?
The Draco Lich expands. He says, well, it requires intense emotion, be it love or hatred or loyalty. It would be an extension of yourself.
Interesting.
It would be bound to you and will alone.
Would this harm me in any way?
Of course, you are sacrificing part of yourself for the animal that you love. Just as I gave my heart to Princess Amora, what would you be willing to give for your dog?
What indeed? Well, I don't think I'd give a heart. That probably resulted in...
Well, I mean, you see the example before you. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
Well, yeah, and even a Draco Lich was effectively dead for 1,000 years as a result. So.
He's alive now. He got better. To be clear, that's his phylactery. The crystal heart is his phylactery. That's the only thing that's keeping him from falling into dust.
Okay. Makes sense then.
Your dog is not going to be as powerful as a Draco Lich. I'm sorry.
Come on. It'll be fun.
But a Draco Lich dog? No, I'm sorry. But you are presented with opportunities here. For example, there are shadows that you have encountered. There are undead. There are ghosts. There are other things that you can do, or this dragon, or Princess Amora, or even yourself could possibly do.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what the best thing to do would be to both demonstrate great love and great emotion.
What are you willing to sacrifice?
Yes, and what I could sacrifice without endangering the mission, I guess.
Princess Fireheart approaches you and she says, is that something that you truly wish? Your dog is at rest. You should just allow it to pass on in memory and love. We all fade naturally.
That's exactly what I was thinking. The alternative would simply be to let go and to honor his memory as a brave friend who gave his life in the line of duty. We can honor his spirit with some memorial at a given time, sooner or later.
We have more pressing issues. There will be more losses in the future. For example, my kingdom could be a loss.
Oh no, can't be having that. And that is why I say that anything that would be sacrificed or lost that would endanger the mission, the ultimate goal of saving the entire kingdom, should certainly not be considered. We need to definitely get moving on that focus, because we have, 3.5 days you were saying? Yeah.
3.5, yep.
That's not a lot to work with. And
it's actually really good. To be clear, Princess Gaines believes in your mission, and she's been able to withstand. This is pretty big. It's huge. You couldn't have rolled any better.
Well, that's good to hear. That we have as much time as was possible, but it's 4.5 or 3.5 days still doesn't seem like a lot of time. Especially considering how long it took us just to get to Yakistan. That was just such a slow slog. So we should probably get moving on that as quickly as possible. We don't know what might slow us down along the way.
When I fought cruelty, the Dracolich says, there were bloodstones in which you could teleport within his domain. Do these still exist?
Yes.
We did see stones of a similar nature on our first journey north towards Yakistan.
I believe we had one or two, actually. Isn't that what happened to the Eye?
No. The Eye had a dark stone embedded within its chest.
Yes, I thought that was the stone we were talking about.
No, the bloodstones are the teleportation devices that you ended up here, but you're not sure where here is.
Yeah, that's true. Even if we were able to use them, we don't apparently know how to control them very well. Maybe the Lich could help with that. Do you know how to control such a stone if you have one?
They are teleportation pads in which you can enter into his domain. However, the bloodstones require blood. Naturally.
Well, yes, that makes sense. But I think we can sacrifice a little blood. How much would be required?
Give me a luck roll. Jeez. How much is it going to be?
Oh, well, I had to ask.
68.
68 liters. We're doomed.
Somebody roll me a luck. You see how much it is.
Okay.
So there's going to be a finger prick or an entire body's worth. Okay, just a finger prick. Or a hoof prick, or I don't know what you'd call it. It's just like
a prick.
Yep.
A few drops would be sufficient. Yep. That's good. I think we can spare a few drops. An entire pony's worth would have been a problem.
Okay. He says, deep within this cave, there are several bloodstones.
Oh.
But to do so would mean to pass the guards that cruelty has always placed around them. Within cruelty's domain, it is a fiery pit of lava and battle. Have you been there before?
No, we haven't been to cruelty's domain. What kind of creatures do they have guarding these stones?
As I recall, give me a second here.
They've been lately, but
just cruel, I guess. It is not his minions that should concern you. They are weak and feeble, and you are strong in both body and mind. It is more of his generals and his gladiators that you must fear. He gestures to the corpse that's on the ground, the cruel worm. He says that there are cruel worms, much like me, except by their wingless. Cruelty tore off their wings long ago and made them slither on their bellies to serve him. One of his commanders was known as Sludge, a being of great power.
Why does that sound?
That is not the same Sludge that was a dragon who once pretended to be a father to the assistant of Princess Twilight Sparkle, the one named Spike, was it?
No. I know of no dragon. This is a demon.
Well,
Need everybody roll me a mind.
Very good.
He gives you a brief description on it. Summerheart, you remember let's see here. Was it you that shattered the jar that was at the yak place?
Trying to
There was
remember.
remember where the yaks were caged up? Somebody was throwing fireballs and stuff like that, and it shattered one of the jars. You guys couldn't tell what the jar was, but it was a prison.
Oh, that thing. Yeah,
I don't think that was me. I was focused on protecting Winter Rose.
Yep, something like that. Somebody threw something and shattered the jar, breaking the imprisonment of whatever creature was in. It began attacking the cruelty demons.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and
I do remember a creature attacking the other minions.
Yep.
We let it
It looked at you
that.
with intelligence. It didn't have much of a body or form. It kind of like stared at you briefly before going on and chasing them, literally chasing after them.
Yeah, come back to haunt us. Oh dear.
Summerheart, do you say anything about this?
I do bring up reference to that.
So you recall this creature? It's kind of like a slime, right? It was kind of like a slime, and it was eating the minions of cruelty. It actually ignored you guys. Wasn't paying any attention to you.
And we chose not to attract its attention, instead focused on freeing the captive yaks and getting them as far away from there as possible.
Very strange. Very peculiar that such a creature would be released and be on this plane.
But if
why would it attack his companions? That is very weird. I know not why it would do so.
Given that it was held captive in a bottle that, after being broken, I don't think it enjoyed being held captive. I would not be surprised if the similar guards are also held captive in some other way. I would hope that if one ignored us for freeing it, even if we didn't expect it that way, maybe these others, not exactly, I wouldn't call them allies, but I wouldn't call them enemies either if they were in a similar predicament as the one we saw. We'll have to simply find out for ourselves first. I'm simply not ruling that out as a possibility that these guards could also be captives as well.
Cruelty is good at one thing and one thing only.
And what is that? Cruelty?
The dragon points at you and nods.
Yes, it does not surprise me particularly. Nothing about
I would
cruelty
fear to have any family member trapped or at the disposal of cruelty. Who knows what they would suffer?
And it's not the first time in history that evil beings capture and enslave beings of great power and strength for their own sinister purposes. But when it comes down to it, those creatures are not as evil or as malicious as one would first think. They were simply victims of abuse, beatings, corruption of the mind and body until they became no more than mindless tools of death and destruction. But in the beginning, they were...
A cruel shiver goes down the back of your spine.
Blizzard is just getting irritated as he keeps pacing back and forth, trying to wrap his head on the fight between Greed and his brother. And it's now, thanks to the dragon, now worried beyond belief as to exactly what's happening to him at this moment. Like, you can tell that he's becoming a bit of a nervous wreck.
Flurryheart walks up to you, says, "What's the matter, Blizzard Star? Is everything okay?"
Okay. Oh, everything is going swell, Your Highness, because who knows at this point, considering that when we were the gift giver's blood, I looked into a crystal ball, I guess you could call it. Well, for some reason, it showed me a vision where I saw my brother that fought against greed himself is now imprisoned by cruelty himself and now cruelty is doing who knows what to him. And let's not forget, that being, branded both me and him with a curse mark. Now, yeah, Blizzard is just having a bit of a panic attack.
I place a gentle hoof on his shoulder. There's no use worrying about what possibly may be. What you need to ask yourself is, what are you going to do about it? And remember, you're not alone in this. If you want to free your brother, whether he's simply locked up in a cage somewhere or if something worse has happened, we'll help you find a way to free him from either that cage or Celeste or heaven forbid, worse. There were those ponies before us. They had saw what had happened to even Princess Twilight herself. Even she had her doubts. And while she still struggles with them, she was in a darker state than how she is now. But even they were able to free her by helping her. We can help you and your brother. So long as we stick together as friends.
If your brother yet lives, he is probably within the gladiatorial ring for cruelty's amusement. There, he will have to perform terrible and horrible acts in order to survive. He may yet become one of their champions, if he is cruel enough.
Maybe not.
It's not a matter of him being cruel.
We're with you, Blizzard Star.
It's not a matter of cruel. It's the fact that he was trying to be a royal guardsman. He's a fighter, first and foremost. I have a feeling that he's going to be a lot tougher for cruelty to break, but I just don't know what's...
Well, then we have no time to lose.
And how exactly are we going to, as you quote, entrap cruelty within an items? We don't even know what those items are.
In character, I'm trying to remember what was it the other ponies used to lock away Greed's essence after they damaged his body to a weak point.
So, as you recall, Greed, right? The heroes, right, had gathered the items that were the phylactery of Greed's. So they collected the items of which were part of him. So Avarice was a part of him that was a rival even onto Greed, right? So Avarice was part of Greed, which he tore out of himself and placed it into the material world, right? You guys reunited that with him, and thus making him weak and susceptible as a whole instead of a fractured being. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So, what are you asking currently?
What is the equivalent of cruelty? What is to cruelty what avarice was to greed?
Kindness.
Avarice to greed. Kindness to cruelty.
Cruelty is just that, cruel, right? However,
It seems
unlike giving greed whatever he wants, right, in an act of generosity, he would feed upon generosity, right? Grow stronger and stronger and stronger.
Right.
Avarice is not like that at all, right? He feeds off of cruel deeds and acts, right? So only thing that could defeat him, right? Cruelty, right? Is not being more cruel, not being more hurtful, not being more hateful. It'd be the opposite of it.
Oh yeah, well yes, but the way how I worded the formula it felt a bit contradictory in your response.
Okay, so giving
I said,
greed.
what is avarice? Avarice is like a lesser form, the influence to do greed. Then there is the influence, and we used avarice to entrap. They used avarice to entrap greed.
Greed had the black coin.
Right.
Greed won the black coin because that was part of him, right? Avarice was part of him, right? So greed had literally split himself up, right?
Right.
Cruelty is not like his brother.
He has not split himself like greed did.
He is not split at all. Yeah.
Okay, now that. Okay,
that's
now
why you can literally run him over with a train and nothing happens.
now I see the difference. Now I understand the difference.
Right.
So in this case, we cannot entirely use the same tactics as the other ponies had done.
Correct. It'd be like using magic against Twilight Sparkle. Okay.
Right.
It'd be like using disloyalty against Rainbow Dash. Right. It'd be a deceit to honesty and stuff. So each pony had its weakness. And I believe, who was it? It was Discord showed each of the ponies their weakness. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which
were they all the same? Yeah. Were they all the same? No. They were not all the same. Yeah. So you'd have to treat them just like the elements of harmony. You'd have to be each an individual case. So greed was the black coin in avarice, right? Parts of him that he wanted back in to make him whole. And he was willing to give up anything and everything just to make himself whole again. And that's how the Druids defeated him previously.
So as for cruelty, obviously kindness is its opposite.
Correct.
But what is the receptacle for entrapping?
Well, dropping a little train on him. The Draco Lich went into battle with cruelty and still didn't win.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds like we have to use an intangible to face cruelty, and that intangible is kindness.
So everybody roll me mind, as I think this is, you guys are like super close. Everybody roll me mind. It's 12. 19, that'd be perfect. Blizzard Star. Blizzard Star. Buddy, it suddenly comes to you, right? A train doesn't stop him. A Draco Lich, one of the most powerful beings, can't stop him. You guys, it's not hurting cruelty. It's healing cruelty. You have to heal him.
Don't give him a hug?
No, this is actual mechanics. So how are you going to heal cruelty?
Oh, we have healing.
By displaying kindness.
Okay, so
I thought that's what it was.
Kill. How to kill. Let's see. Being cruelty, that's just nothing but cruel. We have to kill him. Question is, what would be the best way to kill him? If a Draco can't kill him, if the Dragon can't kill him, what would be the best way to kill him? So kill him with kindness, but
Kindness
what if
can.
Exactly. You have to kill cruelty with kindness.
So let's go steal Fluttershy and bring a few
Got
animals.
it.
I think so.
Fluttershy is not. Fluttershy. You're forgetting something. Fluttershy may be the embodiment of kindness, but this quest was entrusted to us.
And she's also in stone. Yeah, she's also in stone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't think we actually achieved that. I just
Not
thinking
only
of
that,
the sort of thing we could do that would bring a sufficient kindness to bear.
plus, I would like to point out that this...
knowing Fluttershy and knowing Twilight, despite her still doubtful state and what despair is doing in Ponytown, that which is the true part of Twilight deep down, she trusts us to be able to solve this problem on our own, by ourselves, as friends.
I got that.
Well, I would like to ask first and foremost, what is the ultimate form of kindness? What is it that is the embodiment of kindness that is just irrefutable?
Well, we just came from the gift giver's cottage. Gifts might be a good place to start. We have something
Gifts are also a display of generosity as well as kindness, something that is absolute pure. I'm taking a moment to reflect on the lessons of history in which Fluttershy herself demonstrated pure kindness, and even examples where she was the opposite, where she learned from those moments.
You guys are on the right path, but I need you guys to think mechanically. How would you do this?
Well, yes, but
yeah.
I almost wonder if we could teleport back over there and get the perfect gift from the gift giver for this for cruelty. What would be
if memory serves, that was something we believe the element of deceit was also seeking. They were seeking the ultimate gift, and the ultimate gift, as Twilight and her friends learned, was friendship. There is no greater gift than friendship.
Well, this is true. Can we befriend cruelty? And how would we do that? And if we're doing something to say help cruelty, wouldn't that, in at least for what cruelty desires, be doing something cruel ourselves?
I think it's a matter of opening ourselves for the right reasons out of pure kindness, but not... Kindness itself is one thing. Supporting someone for what they believe and what they do is another.
So, let's try and befriend a element that is all about cruelty and probably sent who knows how many ponies to their deaths and started a war within the Crystal Empire. So, I'm sure there's a ton of ponies that would love to befriend him. Matter of fact, why don't we add it up a notch and find a pony that could possibly Wait a minute.
What if it isn't about that kind of friendship? What if it's more about forgiveness?
No, wait. What if there's something about the gift givers? The ultimate gift. A gift. What would be the ultimate gift, or what would be the perfect gift?
Friendship.
How about
Yeah.
I have a feeling it might be more than friendship. In fact, this is where Blizzard looks towards the two pairs. What if the answer with killing cruelty with kindness is the ultimate form of kindness of killing him with love.
Well, reflecting on what Fluttershy learned in her moment of understanding how kindness works, that lesson involved the Breezies. The Breezies some of them wanted to stay with her because she was so kind and nice to them, but she understood that by keeping them there in her cottage, she was preventing them from going home, which was the right thing to do. And she learned that being kind sometimes means giving them a push in the right direction, even if they don't at first see that or might think that it is cruel. When ultimately, once they got home, they understood that Fluttershy was showing true kindness by doing what was right for them. She meant well, but she was making a mistake at first by having them stay in her cottage. She had kindness itself, but the act itself was unkind.
Well,
in her
the
own.
question becomes, what do we do to show tough love to cruelty? Do we force cruelty or convince cruelty to, I don't know, release slaves or something? And in doing so, seek forgiveness and all that sort of thing.
I'm continuing to think on that.
I have a feeling deep in my gut that with all this in mind, Crystal Horde, the Crystal Empire, they always embodied love. And, well, a gift is basically a token of affection. So, this is what Blizzard asked the two of them. The first time you fought against cruelty, what exactly was the point of it? What did cruelty want?
Who are you asking specifically?
The both of them.
So Princess Samora says that I casted protection spells upon the Draco Lich, and he flew into battle with him. The Yak, the great-great-great-great-grandfather of Prince Yakifer, he attacked him with the Ice Blade, helps to slow him down, often making many mistakes. And then the spider had woven us fine silks and clothing to help protect us from the fires.
We have the sword. We do not have the silky protection of the spider. We have of course, there's the dragon. So yeah, mechanics. It sounds like we would require these silky robes of protection from the spider. We have the icy blade from the yaks, and as for the unicorns, see what that one was again. Yeah, the compass. Yeah, we have the crystal heart, and we have returned it to the dragon.
Do you have any questions about the legend?
The ice cave. Where would we find the spider? We will need that protection that they provide to withstand the plane of cruelty. We have the sword of the yaks and the crystal heart of the unicorns united with the dragon. We must find, where can we find a giant spider? Underground colonies.
Colonies of spiders.
We did enter one. There was one cave in the mountains. I don't remember how far we explored it because there were some yetis.
Yeah, we didn't really delve deep in that particular dungeon.
Okay, and I did notice what you also posted here, Lucan. My healing touch.
Mm-hmm. Mechanic-wise.
Oh, well, yeah, I thought we had healing spells.
Potions,
Okay.
healings, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can literally heal him as well.
Correct.
That I believe is part of what we must do with cruelty. We still lack the protection of cruelty's plane, which the spiders can provide, just as Draco here mentioned them.
So
we can also
give you healing. Let's see.
We have the sword. We have the sword to attack the body. My healing touch is what can pretty much lock away cruelty, reduce cruelty to a powerless form. And we have the crystal heart with Draco. All we lack is the protection for his plane.
Well, I said it was fire down there.
We have them. I believe we have the mechanical means to face cruelty. We just lack the means to get to it in one piece.
Well, we have some of them. I mean, you have healing spells, but who else? Or what other kinds of healing can we bring? Do we have, could we throw pony balm at him? Would that be sufficient? Or what other healing can we bring there? Because that's going to be a little trickier. Actually, I'm kind of curious. If taking an earth pony form, does that come with a healing spell?
Should. Wait a second here. What's it say? It says pony transformation. I don't know.
Okay.
You should have it as a changeling. Don't you already have that?
I have pony. I don't know if it was specific to earth pony. Let me look real quick.
Healing touch, as far as I know, is not exclusive.
It's just pony transformation. It doesn't specify any of the particular varieties.
It would be stout heart. That's what the earth ponies have. You don't have that, but you have stout heart. That's what you have.
Healing touch is not exclusive to earth ponies, unlike stout heart, which is.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as I can get some kind of healing spell or ability, I just want to make sure that everybody has something that they can use should it be necessary.
Oh, don't worry. It won't just be cruelty. Excuse me.
I certainly believe that.
As the DM chuckles and coughs on his own madness. Good stuff.
Just take the Monty Python approach to defeating huge villains.
Dr. Evil.
But at least we know that most of the minions, at least the ones we've encountered so far, are can be attacked with fairly normal means, with a variety of different things. It's only cruelty that seems to require something this specific, this targeted.
We can handle the minions. We have the means, I believe, to face cruelty directly.
Mm-hmm.
We simply lack the protection just to get through the minions and to reach cruelty on its own plane of existence without being burnt to ashes by the elements.
That's good.
And that is where our large spider friends, wherever they may be, can provide us. We must find them first.
Well, we better be fairly sure where we can find them. We don't have a lot of time to go hunting.
The Draco Lich tells you, like he says, the spider that went with us was a powerful shaman, a web weaver of sorts. Is his people still not around?
We don't know. We haven't encountered any large spiders.
There was a place where we saw some webs.
And I'm not ruling out, even if that great spider, like the great ancestor of Yxlrbert, has obviously gone to his final rest centuries ago, but his descendants live on in Prince Rutherford. There are bound to be descendants of this great spider weaver somewhere in the world. And I'm actually going to attempt to do a mind.
Sure.
And maybe get that 20. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I will attempt to see if I can determine that final
spider.
We might try asking the yaks.
Oh man, I came so close that time.
You and the Draco Lich are on the same page. You guys both agree, like, yeah, if there's spiders around, like, where would the spiders be? You're like, yeah, where's the spiders? You don't come to the exact location or anything like that. You do know that's underground, right?
Underground and an ice cave.
I mean, you guys are currently underground. That's kind of cool.
But if they
are in an ice cave, that's pretty cool too.
Have there been any other chambers that we haven't explored yet?
The Draco Lich explains, like, this was once my home. And I used to live in this cave, this dwelling. That was when me and Princess Amora first met here. He explains that this cavern goes deep, deep underground.
So how
that is probably where we must keep going.
Oh, goody.
This is but the first layer.
Oh, well, did anybody bring some rope?
I think I have some rope. Let me double check here.
The Draco Lich lifts its wings up.
Yes, I have rope.
Yeah, I got wings too, but not every pony here.
So what is your decision, Luminescence? What will you do with your beast?
I think I will have to let the beast go. There's too much chance that it would suffer and be unhappy were it to be brought back. And a lot of extra effort expended right now when we need to focus on saving an entire city and more.
We can certainly take the time to mourn as well as honor his memory later on.
I think Princess Fairyheart walks up to you and hugs you. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It happens. That's part of life.
He will be remembered as a hero who fought bravely. I'm sure that is something that even diamond dogs, for their own love of jewels and shiny things, I like to believe that there is a part of them that also take pride in being proud warriors.
Yeah, maybe we can get the dog a statue next to Spike's,
or some other shrine of remembrance somewhere. But yes, either way, something to remember him by as a good friend.
The best, yes.
Even one in Dimondia itself. A statue of our friend could be placed there.
So it was just a normal dog, guys. It was just a normal sled dog, as I recall.
Right. Yeah. Something simple and humble, but sufficient to remember him by.
But the greatest heroes come from the humblest background.
Right.
The Dragon Lich nods at you and says, well, I know that you all know your path. I will be on my way. I will go and hunt for the shards of Princess Amora. I wish you good luck. And the dragon begins to turn away.
So the next question, but we can take the one shard of Princess Amora that is here to the Crystal Empire for the time being. And when the dragon when Draco has succeeded in finding all the other shards, shall he return to the Crystal Empire and reunite them there?
Fireheart's like, can't we just borrow the Draco Lich? Can't he just come with us to face cruelty?
I don't know. You should ask him.
Yes,
Oh.
you should.
And perhaps along the way we can help.
Well, before the Draco Lich gets away, then we'll have to posit this inquiry. They may still have some memories of the cave from when they lived there a long time ago. How much has changed, who knows?
Well,
It's
also
been 1,000 years plus.
Also, before we do that, we should actually search amongst the treasure here for that shard of Princess Amor.
Yeah, or anything else worth looting. All right.
This is the dragon's loot. If he wishes to part with it from us, if we ask, or if he's so willing to do so, that is his concern. But to simply take it,
Well,
Are you going to, first off,
some of it was from defeated enemies, or just recently defeated. So unless the dragon is claiming everything from all the creatures we just dealt with.
So first things first, are you going to rifle through the dragon's hoard to find Princess Amora's shard?
Not
I
one.
will ask the dragon for permission, explaining our reasons.
Okay. Roll me a charm.
Yeah, I'm asking for permission, and my arguments are that by having the shard with us, we can take it to the Crystal Empire, and there, once all the shards are covered, she can exist in the Crystal Empire.
Roll me a charm.
Right. Well, on a D8 alone, there's no way I could do that. Although I could first try to roll max.
Yep.
I haven't.
That's definitely not going to work.
I will have to spend 3 tokens to make it a success.
So the Draco Lich is like totally against this. Tell me how the power of friendship convinces him to part with his beloved. And not only his beloved, only a piece of his beloved. So tell me how this works.
Well, I'm not. My argument is not based in separating them. I don't understand how is this separating them.
So he only has a shard of her left, right?
Then perhaps he should take that shard and accompany us. Is that a more appropriate solution to the problem?
Well, tell me what you want, since you're spending the tokens of friendship. Because you're the one that's making this happen. Tell me what's happening.
He's having him come with us to help against cruelty. In so doing,
first off, he hasn't agreed to that. His main goal, his main objective, is to reunite with his beloved Princess Amora, right? And he's going to go and gather the pieces. You have convinced him that you are going to take the shard he currently has with you.
Okay. Oh yeah, we're not going to separate the shard from Draco.
Okay.
We can persuade him to accompany us, as we already gave him the offer to join us in taking on cruelty, using the logic that he'll have a second chance to face his enemy and make cruelty pay for corrupting him in the first place. He'll still have the shard of Princess Amor with him,
So it sounds to me you're asking for two things, right? You're asking first off is to take the shard with you guys to
Right.
face cruelty, right? The shard of Princess Amora. And you want the dragon. You've convinced him to allow you to take the shard, right, of his beloved. Now the second thing is now you want him to go with you in order to face cruelty, correct?
I was trying to recall if we were actually able to convince him of joining us in the first place, because we did present our arguments earlier.
He seems more open to this. He rolled an 11. Roll me a charm.
There's again no way, and
Yeah.
and again, with 2 upgrades, it would go to a 10. So again, there's still no way I could do that on a dice roll alone.
And don't
I would
forget
have
that
to-
you also have your friends too that can help you upgrade your dice. I know you're rolling. I'm just saying that don't forget you can ask your companions for help. It's a friendly reminder as DM. So
Are any of my friends willing to help?
Well, sure. That's what.
Because
to be
normally
clear,
I
this
take
is
the
supposed to be challenging,
normally
right? So
Because also normally I take the initiative and simply make the offer before they ask. And if others are willing to take the same initiative, by all means. I have 10 tokens.
are you
New
going to?
tokens, got those too.
And
I'm going to see what the others have to say first.
do you guys want the Draco Lich? You guys already have the shard of Princess Amora, which is very helpful. She's pretty much like a little data bank.
Well, yes, that
Little
would be
data
helpful.
slab.
The sheer power of the Draco Lich would be
We're not
great.
going to part her from the dragon, so the solution would simply be to convince the dragon to come with us, and he can hold on to the shard.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay.
How many
So you're
tokens does anyone? I can use one. Does anyone else want to give one, and then a second player give one?
Yeah, like I say, if you need tokens, we got those too.
So you're spending
one-
3 tokens. Who's spending them?
I will spend one. It seems Luminescence going to at least offer one, maybe 2, depending on who else wants to get involved.
Let's see, how many did we get today?
We got
5?
we got 5 plus another 4.
Right.
So sure, you're gonna have 2. Why not?
There we go.
So you're going to
Easy
spend
peasy.
2. You're going to spend 2, giving 3 tokens in all.
There's no way I'm gonna be able to spend these tokens fast enough. That's the way we're going.
I mean, might as well start using them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the whole point of why you're having a Draco Lich accompany you. That's kind of a big deal.
Yes, it would be very helpful. So let's make sure that happens.
I mean, he could go off and do his own thing, but if you want him to come with you, you gotta convince him.
Well, like I said, we're convincing him to join us for the sake of giving him that second chance of fighting and helping us defeat cruelty once and for all. And once cruelty is out of the picture, then by all means, feel free to go your own way and search for Princess Amor. And heck, maybe if some of us wish to accompany him in one of those post-game epilogue scenarios, by all means.
The Draco Lich agrees. He says, "Yes, I will come with you to challenge cruelty once more. We will defeat him."
And once he is defeated, by all means, continue on your quest by yourself, or if any pony wishes to accompany you, whether you ask or they ask, that will come in time. And for the moment, let us work together on finding our spider friends who can provide protection against cruelty's plane of fire and lava.
Princess Flurryheart gathers you together as the Draco Lich and her grandmother begin ready to depart. She says, "This is a wonderful plan, but guys, don't forget that cruelty has corrupted him once before, and now he has the crystal heart within him. Is this the
Yes.
best decision?
He also has us.
Well,
And a group of friends are much harder to destroy.
Just like the great spider, just like the yak, and just like my mother, my great grandmother over there. He was not alone then. How confident are you of defeating cruelty this time?
Well, if we simply left him alone, he would be even more vulnerable. He would have nobody by his side if cruelty found him again out in the world. By having him with us, we can help him. If doubt ever starts to seep in, he has us as friends to help him should there be any stumble. If he's alone out in the world, he may be more vulnerable. Because he would be alone. I'm hoping that comes off as logical.
She just says, just in case we lose, cruelty could come at us with great vengeance. The Crystal Empire would fall. He would not only have the Draco Lich, but the heart of the Crystal Empire. And not only that, but my shard of Princess Amora. He would have my kingdom and my history.
What is your alternative?
We better not lose. That's all.
actually, now that you mention it, hold on a second. Blizzard walks over to the Draco Lich and just says, Draco, how did cruelty corrupt you the first time?
The elements of cruelty are known for their cunning. They strike you at your weakest point. For me in particular, it was the greed of the dragon. He promised me things, and all I'd have to do was become greedy and selfish and cruel under his command. I started to lose myself to my natural instincts. And although I beat him down again and again and again, he crawled into my mind, corrupted me.
How did he do that?
I slew the yak and the spider. Princess Amora teleported away.
Well,
We
that
lost.
might be
Trying to figure out.
around.
How did cruelty manage to slip into your mind? You mentioned that he told you that you would outlive your love. Was his voice always rolling back to you?
You will see. If you have encountered him before, you will see. You forget that in his domain, everything belongs to him.
It still begs the question, why did he decide to attack the Crystal Empire? Why did he start this war to begin with? What does he want?
Everything.
I think we both know.
Hope so.
I think you get that cool shiver down the back of your spine again. And that faint pain of that once existing branding.
Yeah, I don't want to be reminded of that.
It doesn't burn. It's cold. You wished it burned and wept, but it does not anymore.
You're right. I haven't met cruelty. In fact, the only time I ever saw him face to face was when he was being run over by a train. The only things I managed to encounter was his minions, that unicorn commander, and one of his servants that branded me.
If memory serves, didn't you choose that, or was that brand actually forced upon you against your will?
I was forced.
Yeah. Like,
Okay,
she literally just blasted him with a fireball and he passed out. She's like, okay, well, that was easy.
All right. Because I recall from the previous adventures there were those ponies, and or maybe it was at the start of the adventure we found the nasty sibling who put that brand. Yeah, Crimson.
Yep.
Unless that was indeed the same incident.
Technically,
That
Crimson
was
was a general of cruelty.
Right.
She was in command of the Wonderbolts, but then she gave up her command to Blizzard.
Yep. Now I'm the commander of the Wonderbolts. And there's...
I could have sworn there was a time when they were given the choice.
That was no comment.
All right. Okay.
Snow Comet kind of chased after that stuff.
Not exactly
really
the best.
big into it.
Not exactly the best choice, but a choice nevertheless.
Oh, that was so wild.
To be fair, that was to regain a part of his soul that was taken away by cruelty.
Right.
But let's be clear, he wanted it. He chased after it. It wasn't like he was avoiding it.
Well, that was just the only way to become whole again.
Yep, dove right deep into that shit there.
Well, again, now so now we've got the dragon, we've got Draco as for the moment, a traveling companion while we seek out the spider. Is that what we've established? Well, then again, yeah, Feuerhard has said
Yep.
we just better not lose when we face cruelty.
Oh, that does beg the question of if we need the spiders. Couldn't my ice magic provide a suitable alternative?
Well, we'd have to go to Cruelty's plane and find out. But we don't know for sure if that will work.
Right, better safe than sorry.
Whereas Draco confirmed that the spiders' silky protection did.
Right, better safe than sorry. Got it.
It certainly is a nice thought, but yours is a probability versus a definite that Draco explained. And besides, I don't see how we could always change our minds if we wish to let Draco and Princess Amor go their own way sooner or later before we go face cruelty. For the moment, I see no harm in simply having them as traveling companions.
You guys are also aware, don't forget, that the Draco Lich has a natural cold aura around him.
Well, I came well prepared for that with plenty of equipment, including the cold weather clothing, plus the yak scarf. I came prepared for dealing with extremely cold weather.
Mm-hmm. So the Draco Lich's aura would be a passive way to defend yourself against any hot stuff. Just FYI.
It never hurts to have the protection of the spiders as well, especially since Draco he highly recommended them. Since the spiders were his friends in fashioning this protective silky armor the first time.
I mean, he killed them.
He killed the spiders after they provided him with
He killed
The
a
silk-
web weaver.
And
But
that-
that was
and was
under
that-
cruelty. And the yak, he
Yes.
also killed the yak. Princess
Well,
Mora
then he could be.
tore it away.
Well, then it's fair to say that he's guilty but not responsible for their deaths. Because it was cruelty that corrupted him. Well, this would also give us another chance to right another wrong after so many years, and that he is not that corrupted dragon that they knew him as. He's not the corrupted dragon they last knew him as. He is the friendly dragon they first knew him as, once again.
What's next, guys? What's the battle plan?
We seek out the spiders.
Yeah, if we can have anything to lead us in that direction.
Let's journey deeper into the icy caves in search of the spiders. If Draco has an idea of where we need to go, if we come to any passages, if he has an idea of if we're going in the right direction, by all means. If there are any other
there are two ways. We can leave by going southwest this direction. Or we can go further deeper into the tunnels to the north. Which way would you like to go?
Well, all we do know is that so the spiders lived deep underground.
So the Draco Lich rolled a 19. He told you about the spiders. Give me a second here. That's the star spider. That's the spider bot. Okay, so he'll show you these. So the giant spiders they have a special ability to climb. They have a special ability web sling. They have tremor sense through webs. Their fear is sunlight. They also fear fire.
That seems sensible that we would have to go whatever path takes us deeper into the mountain.
Okay. It says that if you were wandering in the deep, dark places of Equestria and you feel something brush against your mane, you should turn the other way. Characters of giant spiders are... Yep. So, you're heading deeper?
Yes. And the question is, while they fear sunlight, would they fear other kinds of light? Like the light of a unicorn's horn, or other such means.
That would be a safe assumption.
Okay, again, I accidentally closed out the stupid window. Sorry about that. So torches will not scare it. The light of a unicorn's horn will not frighten it. And what other means do we have at our disposal for light other than sunlight?
A sword.
We have the sword, but I would not want to display that so openly, even if our intent is to use it as a torch for the moment. Spiders might misinterpret that as aggression or provocation. There is the frozen horseshoe that emits some light. What other things? And I have the frozen horseshoe that can function as a... Let me see if I got the whole info here.
D6. As you depart down into the tunnels, I need everybody to roll me a body as initiative starts.
Okay, yeah, the horseshoes radiate glacial energy. They also shed a bright light in a 5-foot radius and dim light for an additional 5 feet. That can function as a torch as well. Okay, here's the body.
Okay. Web sling. Well, I know what I'm going to be using.
Oh, just what we needed.
Flesh hounds, isn't it beautiful?
And then it's also, it's a little too late for me to don it, but I don't even know if I can actually wear the whole freaking thing. The changeling armor combined with the cold weather clothing and the yak scarves.
Giant spiders are now playable characters? That's really interesting.
They've always been
Can
able.
all three of those actually be combined? Wearing the cold weather clothing and the changeling armor under or over one or the other.
Okay.
Oh well. Wait a minute. Was the first body check? Was the first body check an initiative or something else?
Yeah, it's all initiative.
All right.
Who's
then,
playing the Draco Lich and who's playing Princess Flareheart?
I'll take the Draco.
And I controlled one of them last time, so someone else.
5.
And we lost Bridget.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah.
Luminescence is 17. Okay. Descending order. The Draco Lich is up. As you descend down, the Draco Lich takes its natural position in front of everybody. The Draco Lich sees the hordes of flesh hounds running down, yipping and yeeping at you as they come. There's currently a group of 4, and yet you still hear creatures behind them around the corner running down towards you.
I wonder if the spiders are down the platforms.
As these...
well, I'm going to go ahead and attack the flesh hound.
How are you doing this?
Form.
A good default would be the Icy Dragon's Breath.
We'll start with that then.
Sure. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Let's see. What are the full stats on the Draco Lich here?
Pretty OP.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to find the actual... There it is. And see what I need to roll here. For that, fine.
Click the lightning bolt on the Icy Dragon Breath. See if you
3D, 2D, jeez. Okay, so the Dragon's Breath, I assume, was a mine, so...
Give me a second, I'm checking something out. Okay, there's the light. There's the light of me wearing the horseshoe. But it doesn't do... That's the end of the map there, isn't it? Is that the end of the map? Yeah, it is. So there's the light and radius of the horseshoe I'm wearing.
That's way too low.
That was 3. There,
yeah.
Can you click on the lightning bolt on the Icy Dragon's Breath?
There we go. The natural 20. Tell me how the Draco Lich eliminates these flesh hounds.
Well, they're going to light up brightly with not much damage. The front one just kind of evaporates under the strain of the frozen water that's striking it. And the rest are either frozen, hit right behind it, I'm sure.
Draco Lich, are you turning off your aura of bitter cold?
Aura of bitter hope.
At the start of the Draco Lich turn, 30 feet around takes 1d4 cold damage within 30 feet.
Probably should. We're going to hit everybody.
Okay.
Be very.
I've counterbalanced it myself. I can't speak for the rest of you though, but I counterbalance that by wearing the cold clothing and the yak scarf.
Yeah, we could try something like that. If it comes up, I can probably work on that some more, but it's until or unless there's actually a serious fight going on, there's no reason to make the ponies and other creatures more uncomfortable than necessary. It's already freaking cold down here.
But you can make it colder, Draco Lich. Luminescence, it is your turn. As you roll to 17, you're up next.
Yes. Okay, well, given the interesting effects of fire down here, we're going to try and take out any of the remaining flesh hounds. Was it?
Sure, roll me a mind. You currently
Will
see
do.
no more flesh hounds. The Draco Lich literally just whoosh.
That was the impression that I got, but I wanted to be sure. Yeah, you have no idea.
So yeah, you're kind of all in awe at the Draco Lich is just like, and you normally this would last maybe 1 or 2, 3 rounds. This lasted 1 round. Are you doing anything else in this? It says you're just in awe of the power of the Draco Lich.
I'm just going to appreciate the moment.
Anything else?
Might go poke my head around the corner to see what else is coming.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, let's see if we
The
can.
corner is right here.
Yeah, it's mostly dark. I'm just trying to figure out where we are in the corner here.
So you guys are currently right here.
There we go. Yep.
So this is the entryway. This is where you went. This is the first level. This is the second level.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, let's see if I can get a hold of it again. So we're over here somewhere.
Any possibility of stealth has been blown by the dragon literally blowing a blizzard right down the corridor. Okay. You currently rolled a 4. You're just in awe at the crystal bodies or what's left around you. Summerheart, is your turn.
I give a... Normally, some ponies would be wide-eyed after seeing the dragon blast those 4 flesh hounds with icy breath, but that's nothing new to me. I will simply come along here, having that horseshoe functioning as a torch for me to see in the dark. And I will join luminescence here, actually on this side, to get a further observation of what's ahead.
How far off does it see? And what type of color would you like this horseshoe?
Oh, I already took care of that. Light
Alright,
blue
got it.
colors.
Okay,
I already
cool.
took care of it on my own personal aura.
Excellent. Roll me a mind.
Ready?
Yes, with your pony ears, you can hear the wispy sounds of spirits coming down the hallway. You can also hear the jibber jabber of imps. They're clearly aware of something going on, right? Flurry
And they're coming from this way?
No, they're coming from the northeast. So this direction, this direction.
Okay, then
Here and
then
here.
Well, Luminescence and I have a good position to protect the others. So let's, they know we're here. We need to see, so we can't turn off the lights for any surprise. Plus, I don't know if we know that they can see in the dark or anything. But I think we got ourselves a good battle position at the moment. Actually, for the moment, let's take up position here, Luminescence.
Uh-huh.
So they don't give us... Actually, I'm going to take a position here. And there be ready for anyone who comes down the chamber.
Very good.
I'm holding my position in a defensive moon.
That's actually pretty good. Okay, descending to it was Fireheart. What do you do, Fireheart? Who's playing Fireheart?
I think it was me.
Okay, Fireheart, what do you do? I didn't even see you.
Move.
Blizzard Star. You even on the board?
Yeah, I did. I rolled a 3.
Okay, that makes sense.
Was it 3? Yeah, it was.
Okay. Fireheart, it's your turn.
So he's moving up with the others. And, well, I can't think of anything because I can't see, so let's just continue on.
Okay. Let's see here. It's not their turn. Summer Star, Blizzard Star. Oh, so many stars. Blizzard Star, what do you do next?
Joining them, and then that's it. Making a little wall.
Okay. Flesh Hounds are currently down. It's their turn. I need everybody roll me mind as you hear stuff shuffling in the distance. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. For an Earth Pony, Summerheart has a heck of a sharp mind. If he was a unicorn, he would have been like a magic master.
So clearly, the noises aren't coming towards you; they're running away from you. Summerheart, you're fairly confident with the dragon's presence. All the minions are kind of just like, peace. We're getting the fudge out, and they are currently running away from you. Top of the round.
Well, okay. Then we should probably leave them alone. They're just fleeing because whatever's coming after them is going to be a much more severe fight.
Okay.
No.
Draco Lich. What are you doing, Draco Lich?
Draco Lich? Well, the Draco Lich is going to move up too. And try and get a better perspective than the smaller creatures can, looking down.
Sure.
Also, Draco Lich is going to see what memories of the cave can be dredged up or navigate more
It's easy for us, so we don't.
Sure, roll me a mind. It's been a while since you've been down here.
Yes. Oh, hang on. Mind is actually 2d6.
Mm-hmm.
Well, geez. I can't roll all today.
And the excitement and stuff like that, you're not quite sure. You're kind of like, I don't remember this turn being here. Like, I thought it went straight, but now it's like not straight. Maybe there was a collapse or something. Somebody had opened something up. You're not quite sure, Draco Lich.
Okay.
Anything else? We'll move forward, or
We're going to move up and catch up with the pony folk here.
okay.
Oh, look, there it goes.
As you round the bend, your excellent eyesight sees down the way. There's nothing down there. You do think that you've seen some skittering around the corner, but it is gone before you can take action.
Okay.
Luminescence.
Well, following up on the Draco Lich's perspective there, we're going to go down the hall a little ways.
Sure.
And see what we can see. If I can get it. Hey, that's tiny. No, move that out of the way. Come on. There we go. Down the hall a little bit.
Yeah, that's Flurry Heart. Luminescence.
No, wait. Dang it. Something weird going on there. Yeah, I just grabbed the wrong one.
You're fine.
All right,
you
so
were with the Draco Lich. You swore that something skittered across the other way. You also noticed that there's a steep decline. The direction of the decline is going north to south, so it is going this way.
Interesting. Okay. So we're descending rapidly.
You are ascending correctly. Ascending, not descending, ascending.
Well, that would be an incline, though. Okay, anyway. Okay. So we're ascending rapidly through the cave. Interesting.
Yes.
Is it slippery or anything? With the ice?
It's an ice cave.
Well, so how stable is the footing?
I mean, you can run across it. It's not like it's like a slick.
Okay, so we shouldn't worry too much about going headlong into a wall if we try to stop suddenly.
Probably not.
Okay.
The only things
Well,
that
is
you
anything-
probably have to fear is like collapses and maybe like snowballs being rolled downhill. But even then, they get like caught on these corners and stuff, so you're not too worried about that either.
Okay. Well, move up just a little bit further, but I don't want to go too far ahead of the party, so.
Roll me a mind as you get closer towards this edge. Yeah. You do clearly hear three creatures around the corner trying to run away and escape you. Summerheart, is your turn.
Right. Well, while I'm having my doubts upon seeing that we're going up instead of down, let's just, for all we know, maybe this could just be a momentary ascent, and then we'll go, and then it will drop down further. We'll find out. I'll just keep going, and I'm sticking close to the higher edge to avoid, and just dragging against the southern wall here, keeping up with luminescence.
Okay, roll me a mind, Summerheart, as you get through to this corner. You hear the exact same thing. You hear three creatures just over this edge right here, running away from you, trying to escape.
Well, we're not going to. If they turn and fight us, we'll defend ourselves. Otherwise, we're not going to give them. We're just going to ignore them.
Yeah. Fireheart, is your turn.
No pursuit with the intent of killing.
Okay. Fireheart, is your turn.
Okay. What the? Great. Roll 20. Roll 20 is being a little.
Did it crash on you?
A little. Okay, I restarted it. Now let's see that. Okay, that did the trick. Alright. See, is this continue on joining with them?
Sure. Roll me a mind.
Nope, that's not it.
Fireheart, you hear more creatures than your companions. You hear about 6 to 9 creatures around the corner, running away, trying to escape you.
That's a surprise, considering that there's a little death-making dragon coming in there.
Anything else, Fireheart?
Not that I can think of.
So something that Fireheart normally does is she shields something or herself. So is that something that you'd like to do?
I guess for now, shield, make a little shield for all 3 of them.
Sure. Go ahead and roll it.
Where's
That's remember, she cannot do anything else but to focus on that. You see here, there's a rule to that. It's shield, I believe, right? She has invincibility, teleport, stun ray, creative flare, star heart, telekinesis. She does not have shield. That's weird. I thought she did.
It should.
Yeah, she should. I'll have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure she does. It's just really weird. Pretty sure I was rolling it the other night. Guarantee you that I wasn't. The imps, okay, they chitter chatter, chitter chatter, chitter chatter. Chitter chatter, chitter chatter, chitter chatter. Everybody's getting informed. D8. Okay, sure. All right, guys. I'm going to have to call it now. It's getting towards the late. Let me finish this up right here.
Mm-hmm.
Be a D4. We're at the end anyways. Then we'll be back at the top of the round.
Okay.
Okay. Make sure I got everybody. No, I still have a 0. Who said 0 2? No, you're right there. There it is. D4. 3. Okay. All right. This is where we end this episode. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.